Hello and welcome back. Today we are here with a new Cyberpunk 2077 build video. Now, going off of our last build video, we've gone and tweaked some things. We're running a very similar setup. But first off, can you beat that fashion? My goodness, we look fantastic. So, very similar to our last build where we are very gun-centric. We do rock the Sound of Istan again. All in all, this is very similar to our previous Merc build. We got 8 body, 20 reflex, 20 tech ability, 20 cool, and 3 intelligence. And I'm just going to do a very quick overview. Don't want to have another 40-minute video. So once again, we just take with the 8 body and athletics. We just want this to be able to regen health outside of combat. This one perk allows us to get to 100%. This is the shotgun light machine gun. We don't really use light machine guns at all. We use one shotgun, just it's a personal favorite of mine. And we only take the damaging perks from here. Recoil, movement speed, and reload time. Not a huge factor. The movement speed even less so because we no longer have the 16 strength to deal more damage the faster we're moving. And in the Street Brawler perk, this is really just here to get us to level 8. We will get a perk point from here. And that's it. So we just get a perk from this tree. Once again with the guns, so I've gone ahead and I've once again skipped the situational ones where it's like you need to be behind cover for this to be in effect. It's a lot of, for the assault, it's a lot of behind cover. So we just have more damage further away, more damage, enemies above 50%, more damage, more damage, more damage, more damage. So non-situational more damage is what we go for, and that's pretty much across the board for all of our weapons. Minus blades, and I'll get into that in a moment. But once again, we skip the draw holster time, we skip the reload time, we skip 50% more damage on enemies below 25% because they're already going to be dead. Dodges, we have a Kerenzikov that covers that. Reduced recoil. I personally like the practice, so I never take those. If you want to take these perks, go ahead. I just personally prefer to handle the recoil myself. It's like a fun little mini game. But all damage in this tree. Blades, we've actually gone ahead and left blank. Now, with the transition of moving all of our attribute points out of intelligence and moving them into cool, we actually get a fair amount of perks within that tree. So I'll go over that in a moment, but we did have to sacrifice somewhere. I personally only ever use the Satori Katana anyways, so that low base damage isn't as important as having the high critical damage. So we aim for that. The Blades tree we leave blank. I haven't found that I actually need it. If anything, I would put 3 points into here and maybe 3 points into here. Let's say if I had 4 points to spend. 3 here, 1 here. That's it. That's all you need. Tech ability. So we are once again big on the crafting. I like the crafting in this game. I'm not actually sure if you need this. Junk items are automatically disassembled. I still will receive junk items in my inventory that I can sell. So I'm not sure if that's just across the board or if I haven't noticed the ones that it is breaking down. But you can get like 1 extra perk if you want to scrap that. Scrapper. Ha. But here we go into the engineering tree. Well, this is our tech weapons, and we actually go a bit further into this than we had before. We want the reduction time, we want the increased damage, increased damage, increased damage. This is for loot, so that's kind of nice just as you're leveling up. But increased damage, or the utility of being able to hold it so you don't accidentally have a shot fire off once it max charges, so you can control that yourself. And then ignores armor, which, wow, that's good. Intelligence is going to go into this real quick. We left this entirely blank. We only have 3 attribute points in there. We don't run intelligence with this build. Cool. So we have increased crit chance by 20% for 7 seconds when entering combat. More damage while sneaking. Sneak faster. More crit chance while sneaking. Just kind of nice to have. It will be useful with one of our setups, like for some of those stealth gigs that you need to do. It's nice to have for that. More damage to human enemies, that's really nice. Immunity to poison. and this is a survival. Now, the immunity to poison, we actually have immunity to all forms of damage. We have our armor for physical damage, just to negate a percentage of whatever that would be coming in. So we've got armor for physical. We are immune to poison with this. We are also... Where is it? We are immune to shock. So poison, shock, we're immune to. And we also are immune to bleeding. So we have immunity to all four uh, damage types, really. You don't ever have immunity to physical because it's physical damage, it happens. But that armor does help. And with cold blood, this perk here increases armor by 8% per stack of cold blood. Now, our cold blood will stack up to 5. You get the natural 3 from 123 and the base cold blood perk, and then 2 others over here to increase the max stack by 2. And we keep the cold blood active because we are heavy on crit, so every hit that is a crit will have a 50% chance of gaining a stack of cold blood. Happens very often. If a group of enemies are clustered, we actually have a way to achieve max stacks with one shot, which is really fun. And just to keep those stacks on us for longer, increase the duration with critical condition. Now we have other things like reduced damage taken. It's removed one by one, not all at once. That is huge, actually. Increase armor, we already covered that. Increase ranged weapon damage by 20% to enemies within 5 meters. 5 meters is not as small as you'd imagine, and this is amazing for shotguns because we don't have as much. We don't have the attributes to put perks into that anyway, so this is really nice. Survival here. This is actually a replacement for the second heart cyberware because we no longer have that 16 body to reach that. This covers that second heart functionality. And then, like I said, it increases the max stack. So that is our build with the attribute points and the perk points. So you'll see we have 5 perk points available at the moment. I am waiting because by the time we get, you'll see I have Street Brawler at level 3. On reflexes, we have a max of level 20. Handguns will get 3 more levels. Assault will get 7 more levels. And Blades will also get 7 more levels. So we have more perks coming in. I haven't gone through and grinded the content. Well, actually, we're done with content. It's just grinding the actual levels, and I have a good spot for that. It's a matter of time. So we'll have 9 more perk points coming in by the time we hit 20 in everything, or 8 in athletics, street brawler rather. So we'll have a total of 14 perk points to toy around with, and where I put those, I'm actually going to tell you right now. So you can put one here. That's fine. It's just it reduces the weapon spread, recoil, all that jazz. Not recoil, just the weapon spray and spread. So that's nice to have, not super necessary. This one, however, after a successful crit hit with a pistol or revolver, damage and armor increased by 30% for 5 seconds. That one is phenomenal. We absolutely take that. I only put 1 point in there though. You can pump these up further. Blade, if you're really liking the Satori and you don't take these other perks and you're finding you're not one-shotting things, you can put that in here. That will help, for sure. And it's only 1 point as well that you'll really need. We don't bother with the increased sale price of items, but we do want, under the engineering tree, we want the increased tech damage from tech weapons by 25%, and it increases the charge damage, but we have the ability to charge pretty fast because we have lickety split, and gradually just leveling this up, you see level 19, you get decreases charge time by 10%, and you'll gradually get those throughout this tree. Just to show. Oh, maybe you only get the one. Yep, a little bit. So you'll be able to get those shots off faster. You can put a point here if you really want to, but with how fast we charge them up, I don't find it super necessary. But you want 1 point in here for sure. Under cool, I will actually put a point in here just to have the utility. I love this ability. I just haven't taken it because there's not a whole lot of situations where you'll encounter that instance. But it's cool to use, and for a Merc style play through like a character type, I don't know, Hidden Dragon works very well. But we actually don't even take this because we don't use poison. However, knives, all knives apply poison. We don't use that. What we do want to put, and you're actually going to want to pump this up with whatever remaining perk points you have that you don't put elsewhere, you are going to put them all into Merciless. While Cold Blood is active, increases crit chance by 5% and crit damage by 25%. We love the chance to crit because you'll see in a moment our crit damage is where this build shines. That's this section. Now, I'm going to quickly go over weapons and inventory. So, we are once again maxed out because our crafting is at level 18. We have the ability to craft Resist, Street Smart, and Armadillo. We get those naturally when we hit 18 in crafting. They're just automatically added into our crafting inventory. So we pump all of our armor up. And this was crafted. Actually, all four of these were crafted. These two were found. Part of the legendary sets. This is the media set. This is the solo set. And you want those just because they've got the 2 slots and they have the most armor. I don't have the ability to craft 2 slots. I can craft this guy. I can craft this guy for the jacket and the shirt slot, but they only have 1 slot for mods. So we want that extra slot because it gives us more armor. Now, we will have armor in every single slot aside from the grant immunity to bleeding here. And we have the increased crit chance by 4% here. You can, if you really want to, pump that crit damage. You can swap it out. But I find we have enough crit damage to get those kills we need. We need the crit chance to allow for those crit damages to go through. So that's our gear. I like the optical camo. If you run something different, you can absolutely run grenades. I like Ozob's nose because Ozob's a great character. The nose has a funny effect, and it's just a lot of damage. Weapons. Now we've got revolvers, we've got shotguns. This is another revolver, and actually quite a few of these weapons. So namely these two, the Sovereign and the Comrade's Hammer, will work tremendously well with Santi Vistan. Because the reload, it's only those 2 weapons actually at the moment as well. Single shot with a stipulation. If you aim down the barrel, it's a single shot for the Sovereign. If you just hip fire it, you get 2 shots per reload. But when Santi Vistan is active, your reload is super quick because it's just actually I'll do a little showcase real quick just to show. And also this full potential unlocked at body 10. We do hit that, but it's not a factor for whatever reason. The way the game works, it doesn't take that into consideration. So we will have a maximum body potential of 14 because of our Cyberware, our arms. I don't even have these fully kitted out. I don't need it. But at the very bottom of that like teal bluish text, Gorilla Arms also provide a bonus of 6 to your body attribute checks. Because our body is so low, that does help. Unfortunately, it does not come into play for speech checks or weapon requirements like this. Again, I don't know what the detriment of not meeting the weapon requirement is. You'll see when we use it, it's perfectly fine. But it will work for stuff like doors, like when you use those arms to lift up doors and stuff. I forget what they're called. Force, I think, maybe? I don't know. When you need to lift up a door and you need a certain amount of strength to do so, that's how you do it. And we'll be able to lift anything with a strength check of 14. But, so, you'll see when we activate Santi Vistan, we shoot, instant reload, shoot, instant reload. And that works. Oh, not. Oh, I equipped the wrong gun. Also works with this guy. It's a little slower, but the reload itself is pretty slow. But because it's not depending on the mechanic of the actual gun, it goes very fast. It's very nice. I'm just gonna quickly re-equip. I'll leave that there. I want the Archangel back though. So that is the weapons, and we do have the ability to wield all of these weapons with great effectiveness. And you'll see on every single one of these, we have them slotted for crit damage. Anything with like full auto, where you do have the horizontal recoil that does come into play, we put one of those in, and then it's crit damage. Crit damage. One of horizontal, crit damage. One of horizontal, crit damage. Crit damage. So it's all crit damage. You're gonna see we do some crazy crits. For aesthetics, I don't like slots there. Not for the revolvers. No, no, no. But lastly, let's get into the Cyberware. So we have one slot blank because we don't have a stat to slot it. We once again increase headshot damage by 25%. We get that plus 4% to our crit chance. Micro generator. So we have at 15%, if we ever get knocked to 15% health, we do the EMP for 50% of the enemy's max health, and it applies shock. At 15%, we also restore 30% health. I don't believe these two work together where you'll be affected by your own shock, but we 10 damage, 10% of damage, just nullify it. Kerenzikov Legendary, longer duration on the Sandevistan and Kerenzikov, of course. Optical camo, of course. Extra armor, of course. And this one, heat converter. So whenever we do get affected by burn, we're going to deal 10% more damage. That was the last damage type I forgot about. Thermal. So we're also protected against thermal. Once again, I like the charge jump. Gorilla arms for the bonus to the body attribute check. But I also just like the way that they look. I don't know, just the way the hands look with like these kind of. Oh, I like the way it looks. I once again do the dermal imprint because it jams smart weapons. That's how, if you've ever noticed how you don't hit tiger claws with the smart weapons, and it's just kind of like it goes towards them and then it veers off. That is why they have this. They have the same tattoo. Because our body is so low, we can only equip the green version, but we do have an increase to our maximum health by 30% and an increase to our stamina by 30%. So that just helps with like running around Night City more. You run out of stamina less often because you have more of it. It's just nice. And once again, we have Sandevistan with the 30% crit. Now, our crit will get pretty nutty, and we do a lot of damage. We are no longer slotted. Let's put that out. We are no longer slotted with the extra crit how it's currently slotted for crit damage. We used to have crit chance to bring it to like 29% crit chance. The crit damage is way better, and we're about to show you why. So just as a quick display of how strong this build is, and I will show I am on very hard difficulty. I've got the damage numbers just to accumulate it so that you can see just one number to make it nice and easy. Yeah, check this out. 6-4, 7-1, running 6-5, 11,000, 10,000, 7,000, 20,000. So we get some big numbers. That's just with the handgun. 5.8. Or 5.8 rather. And these are kind of basic bitch enemies. I will say, like, if you ever run into a issue where it's like, oh, I'm running low on health, I'm starting to get into the danger zone. You want to activate your Kerenzikov. You want to activate Sandevistan. And what you can do is, because we have the feedback circuit, we really like using tech weapons. So I don't currently have the Senko, the new tech submachine gun that was added in the Edge Runners update 1.6. That would go right here, because that's a really, really good gun. Pretty much bumps your health up to max really quick. I'll let this guy shoot me real quick. Thank you. I'll take a good bit of damage. We'll get that 10% back, how we normally do.
He's mine!
But health comes back so quick. So quick. There was no slow motion or anything, so it's very easy to get back your health. We got times. I'll let the. I'll just for the heck of it. Yeah, you're seeing we were one-shotting everyone who we wanted. My aim's not fantastic, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna activate Sandy, run in, big bull. Didn't have the AoE, like I thought it was going to. I love the hypercritical. It's just big gun, nice chonky sound, and it has a AoE effect to it.
Come out, you pussy!
Oh, love that sound. But yeah, so we get that very nice. Oh, that was weird. That was a whiff.
Fight fair!
We have a lot of damage. You're seeing if we hit, it's almost a one-shot every time. This is where it's at. So you get 3 enemies nice and close. Oh, it didn't work either. Now I can't hit him. Yeah, so now you see that we have, well, I'll show you again after I quickly pulled up the menu just because we have the stacks. We're at 5 stacks of cold blood. So with our 5 stacks, we'll hit 2,800 armor. The crit chance doesn't reflect it as much. It's kind of weird. Oh, I'm silly. I don't have the perk that increases with that. But just as a showcase, like this is a weaker version of the build that we can make. And this build is silly strong. I want to see, I'll swap that out, I'll put you back on. You can use any of these weapons, they're all super strong. But I want to get the Pacifica equivalent of max tech on me for a moment. If I can find someone. These are actual enemies now. We're not going to be able to get the afterlife mercs.
Yow! Goddamn right!
And there's this poor soul. Yeah, see how we can just hold that? It's so nice. Big damage. This is 12,000, not even a crit. So it's kind of silly what you can do with this build. I love this build. Actually, these guys are close to me. Let me see if I can just showcase this. It's funny. I'll do a headshot. I love it. Yeah, that's our build. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy strong damage, and I mean, you don't get better than this fashion. Yeah, so we pretty much have Comrade's Hammer, Sovereign, Yinglong, Morinlab, Archangel, Buzzsaw, Malorian, and then Satori. And you can run basically whatever weapon you can throw into light machine gun. You can do whatever you want. This build is very accommodating. Even if you want to run heavier into the blades, just pull some perks out of, I don't know, if you're not as much of a fan of tech weapons, pull some points out of that. But you'll have a total of 110 perks to spend by the time, because we'll get another 9, like I said, by maxing everything out. You'll have 110 to spend. So that's the build. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you are digging Cyberpunk. It's in a pretty good spot right now. And if you have any thoughts on how to tweak this build, make it even stronger than it is, I'd love to hear it. So till then, have a nice one, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.